Hello and welcome back to Inazuma 11. This is Heroic Cream Puff.
Momo Mimi.
And Nut Fabulous.
And we just completed the Hellhole Dungeon, and this is the bonus experience screen where it shows you what experience you gained specific to the training you undertook, which you undertook techniques, so that raises body and control stats.
Yeah, I figured that was a better stat to go for. At least to start out.
And here's Natsume, who's like, well, you're not dead, I suppose there's that.
Well, she did kind of just kick you down there.
Kiku? How did one girl kick 3 guys down the steps anyways?
She's got a big foot.
No, I don't think
Either
she
that
does.
or she used a domino effect since they seem to stand in a line all the time.
This is true, they do run instinctively within a line. And this is the principal who apparently no one ever sees walking around. I like how of all the people you had in your party to say that one line to Endo, it ended up being Shadow. For me, it was like Kazemaru or something, because I had him out at the time. But for you, it ended up being Shadow. Shadow going, whoops! And it's like, that's probably not within his character, but he has no character to speak of, so we don't know. But yeah, Ryman Sr. here is explaining that he used to be the captain of the male cheerleading squad, which must have been terrifying.
Especially with that haircut.
Yeah, especially if he had the same haircut. I'm trying to picture it, and it's just amazing. But 40 years ago, on the day of the Football Frontier Finals, he and everybody else felt really betrayed because the Inazuma 11, quite frankly, just didn't show up. And we just got paper.
Awesome.
Delicious radioactive paper.
Does it give us more bullshit magical powers?
Yes, it does. This is the Inazuma 1, which was not the first one, nor the last one that we learned. So, the numbering system isn't completely inconsequential.
Yeah.
What can you do? It's actually not that flashy of a move, but it's stronger than the drop, so we're gonna have to use it in the next match anyways, because the plot demands it.
And you can technically teach it to any one of your strikers, because it's not... No one player learns it, so you have to make the choice to assign it to someone, or and the partner that they'll need, because it's a 2-person move.
Well, that's why they give you the paper. It's the paper you can teach to anyone. You can even teach it to a defender if you really want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with the manuals. So you're not locked onto using it in any one player, which also means that if you're really dumb, you can teach it to somebody and then not put them in the match, and have the game be like, what are you doing? But I think Natsume's father also just explained that most of the manuals were written by Endo's grandpa, hence the very familiar shitty handwriting. And Goenji's like, yeah, I know your number.
You can't hide anything from me.
And she's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be extremely tsundere about it for another couple episodes. Made an impression. Possibly the physical sign, of him getting hit in the face by a soccer ball. It left an impression in his face.
So he has the patch pattern.
Yeah, he has the patch. That's why
permanently.
That's why he wears the headband, so you don't see it on his forehead.
Meanwhile, at Taikoku...
Oh yeah, here we are at Taikoku. Also known as Future Soccer Central.
Random person who I don't know.
Yeah, they're all from the team, though.
I know,
that guy and his creeper face, I will never approve of.
Yeah, and that kid is so much better.
He just doesn't have eyes. Okay, somebody stole his eyes and replaced them with, golf balls. That's not his fault. And here's Jimon, who, despite having a really fierce monobrow, is apparently an okay guy. Because he's like, get back to fucking practice.
Stop acting like, gossiping behind Kito's back.
Literally.
He's clearly right there.
Literally gossiping behind his back because he's right there.
How do you not see the Rasta hair? Even from me.
I don't know. I think they were supposed to be whispering and staring at his back, which is just strange. And he's just like, what's up? And Kito apparently has never seen the commercial because he doesn't go, what's up back.
He'll learn.
And here we're like, alright, we have no idea what Brainwashing Academy does, other than brainwashing. Clearly this will go fine.
We'll wing it just like we always do.
Yeah. Except we don't actually know any moves with the name Wing in them yet.
Yeah, that's true. But they do have people playing the position of wing.
This is true. And here's Natsumi re-explaining to you that co-op moves, you teach it to a person, and then you choose the partner, and then you make sure both people are in the match, you dumb moron. And she also mentions you need people with the right skills. Basically what that means is you can teach the move to pretty much anybody, but only certain players will be compatible as a partner for that person. You can't teach it to one person and then have the entire rest of the team be a possible match for that person. You're always guaranteed to have, like, somebody who can do it with them, but I don't know what the specific rates are of who's compatible with who, because...
I think their stats need to be similar. Or at least their stat focuses.
I don't know, because I have Kazumaru show up as a possible partner on a lot of moves I wasn't expecting, because he's a defender, and he doesn't have kick stat, but I can do a lot of kick moves with him for some reason.
But anyways, I decided, because he's such a good player, I decided to give Max the Inazuma 1.
Did that just say has learnt?
Yes, it did.
Has learnt. Oh man, British English!
And someone I don't normally have up in the forward position is also a Shadow, so I decided to partner them up.
Yeah, because we've seen enough of Goenji. Let's have somebody else do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, Shamioka's gotten his shine time too. He'll probably get to do something again later, so you know, why not give it to a not so important character who's at least still maybe slightly plot relevant, just a little.
Or at least slightly competent as a forward.
Oh no, he's definitely competent, but he was part of the plot for 5 seconds where he was like, sure, I'll join your team as long as it doesn't get boring. Yeah, you wouldn't naturally expect him to stick around, but he does. Get plenty of rest for tomorrow.
Hence why I went up to the little refreshing point over there.
The refreshing point. More radiation to make your magical soccer team more magical.
Hey, it's gotta come from somewhere.
I'm sure Endo never sleeps the night before a match because he's too busy thinking about soccer. Actually, I'm not sure when he sleeps ever because he always seems to be too busy thinking about soccer.
And then he doesn't get enough sleep, and then when his mom tries to wake him up in the morning, she's like, Endo, get up. And he's like, 5 more minutes, please.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't feel like it. And then she's like, didn't you have practice today? And he's like, practice, oh boy! Like, slings out of that bed.
Anyways, we're all set for the match, so we're on our way to the station so we can get this thing underway.
Yeah, they always make you, like, walk to the station if you're having the match somewhere else. Granted, I don't think we ever have a match here again. I think all the rest of the matches are visitor matches. Which is like, that actually seems a bit strange. But after the qualifiers, you start having the matches at the tournament place. Like, there's a tournament field. And in the tournament field, you start having the matches there, I think.
No, it's all in the other respective schools. Like, all the other
really?
later matches. Yeah, they're all at, like, all the various teams that you see later are all at their respective schools.
That's kind of dumb. Because oh, whatever. And here's brainwashing. This looks totally safe.
Not really.
I know. Was that Takashi or Takeshi?
I
didn't see it.
And this guy who tragically lost all of his face, as opposed to just his eyes. We're fighting brainwashing. And they're made up a lot of people who aren't wearing those stupid helmets that they keep talking about.
They do have a lot of wires coming out of their heads, though.
Takashi. Only like 3 of them have the wires, though. This game is not very consistent.
No, it's not.
And you're switching around. You're putting him up front instead of going, Samioka? Oh, no, you're switching him after that guy. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Try to keep all my forwards near where they're supposed to be.
Trying. Emphasis on the trying. Now see, that was a pretty good back pass.
Yes, it was.
And Illusion Ball wins most of the time. Which is why if you get a character who learns that innately, you're probably gonna abuse it. Because just look at that.
Just over and over again, which just works because the defense satsus that brainwashing uses is very effective against anything else.
This is true. Defense scan is pretty good defense satsu. It's kind of annoying.
Here we go, Inazuma 1.
That's all it is.
Not incredibly flashy, but effective.
Well, and it's impressive because they both kick it at the same second, and that's the first time we've seen a move that does that.
It's also incredibly hard to actually
do. It's impressive in terms of real soccer.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look as flashy. But in terms of real soccer, it's pretty darn impressive.
And against anything else, shot pocket, it works.
Well, the ball goes farther, and then it also gets a real spin on it because 2 different people are kicking it. It's quite interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be kind of like doing a pull shot with 2 different cues, I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just know more about pool than I do soccer.
That's okay.
Boss. The brainwashing was incomplete. And Endo's like, brainwashing can never defeat the joy of soccer. And he's like, human emotions, what are these feelings?
This is illogical. This is completely and utterly illogical.
I don't understand.
Shut up, this isn't about logic.
You think I don't know that?
I don't know, do you?
Do you?
I'll take that as a no.
Yes?
Yes? I'm wondering now.
You're wavering a bit there.
Are you gonna...
I had to think about my response.
Yeah, see, the scans are pretty good. They're also really boring to watch, because that's all it is.
That's obnoxious.
What, kicking the ball in front of the person to kick it to the side?
Well, yeah.
I mean, for one...
Attaboy, Samayoka.
Nice pass.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. You can pass it... No, you didn't pass it again. Oh, you could have gotten it.
You should have passed it back.
Yeah, you should have done a flipper.
Well, can't think of everything on the spur of the moment.
Shadow does not have very good control. You were saying.
No, he doesn't.
Did she say spur of the moment or screw of the moment?
She said spur.
Spur.
Okay, I heard screw.
You always hear that word.
Interception!
Another kid got it.
I don't think the viewers want to hear half the things I think.
I might argue that point, but let's not.
Attaboy, Roko. Why did he go back? That's something I didn't understand. He doubled back for a second.
You might have tapped the screen in the
I
wrong
don't think
spot.
I did. Oh, here's cross drive. I don't think we've seen this yet.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
Shot pocket.
Oh, that's the first time we've seen shot pocket work. It's supposed to be a really good defensive move, but the first time we saw Max just crash through it.
Well, that's because the Inazuma is always supposed to automatically work on it.
Oh, at least the first time. I don't know if it's guaranteed success after the first time, but I know the first time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go NG! You picked up the ball. And you actually beat Scan, because Heat Tackle is overpowered.
Yeah, it's such a broken dribble move.
Well, he tackles the person while on fire! What is somebody supposed to do about that?
I'm constantly trying to get Shadow up there, and I'm not entirely sure if I succeed because that kid's there with defense scan, and
you should have, passed it.
I know. Well, here I am getting paranoid about making an offside by mistake. So I'm trying to be on the careful side in terms of passing.
Oh, for a moment I thought the game was gonna fail.
That was actually not offsides because he was running to the ball.
Yep.
He was actually behind the defender when you passed it.
That works.
That works. Dark Tornado.
Oh yes, that's
one of Shadow's signature moves.
It's a pretty nice shot.
Yeah,
actually.
that's just the dark version of Fire Tornado.
I think his kick at that point was pretty weak because if you have a stat like kick that's particularly weak and you try to make a shot against a goalkeeper that has a higher defense level, they can do a Hisatsu shoot, but the goalkeeper will just catch the ball because the kick wasn't strong enough.
We explained that in a previous episode.
I forgot about that.
We did.
Well, at least now you see it in action.
Yep. And you also see quick draw fail, which is a shame.
A little bit of repetition isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No. But I'm just saying, we did cover that. It's a known fact that sometimes a good enough goalkeeper doesn't have to use a Hisatsu. Which is good on your point, because then you don't waste TP. Bad on the enemy's point, because they don't waste TP.
Mm-hmm.
And they fired up. Your form is pretty low.
And we fired up too.
Well, yeah. You don't really have a choice at that point, because defense scan is annoyingly good. And that kid has more of those random bandages on the face.
But he fouled, so.
But he fouled.
Yeah, it's like they're really trying to drive the point home the point that this team has been experimented on in a way.
Wait, how did Kazema... Wasn't he on defense?
No, that wasn't... Was that?
There we go, that's a boy shadow.
I don't think that was Kazumaru.
Trying to double check to see which one had more points. I don't think he succeeds in this one either because that goalkeeper is just really good.
Probably not.
Yeah,
yep.
No, it was
Oh, he punches it out.
But Kazumaru's there.
Oh, that is Kazumaru!
And that was an offside.
No, it wasn't.
Well, according to the game, it was.
Well, the game was wrong because it was the goalie who hit it out. And Kazumaru got to it first.
Okay, sometimes the game is wrong, apparently.
Alright, midget kid,
what
go!
Was Kazumaru doing up there, though?
I don't know. It was a penalty or something for somebody who was there. Oh, Kung Fu header. This is Shaorin's shot. Shorin.
Nice. And he's probably gonna block it.
No.
Unless...
No.
Alright then.
Shot from the midfielder went in. Your shadow failed multiple times.
And the kid with the annoying hair...
I had hoped he would succeed, but he didn't, so it's just like at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna try using the other players to try and get it in.
And it was a header that actually made it in, too. I'm pleased, because I was hoping you'd see that. It was a
I
header
remember
shot.
you saying that.
Yep.
That kid's hair is annoying, though.
That's because it's in all the... It's there, and then it's not, and it doesn't make any sense. He just called us worms. I hope he's still brainwashed, because otherwise he's very rude.
I think that's what he's supposed to say before and after they get their brainwashing things off. So he's supposed to say that.
But do we know that he has it off? I thought it was just the goalkeeper who lost it. Because we only kicked the goalkeeper.
True.
But, yeah, Shorin's pretty good.
For a midfielder, he's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how twisting the ball once with your feet makes an entire tornado, but, you know, bullshit magical soccer logic.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of funny. You went fired out second, but you burn out first.
Didn't understand how that really works, but hey. I'm still leading at this point because they haven't even gotten down to my side of the field yet.
Yeah, you're exhausting TP, but you're gonna win because they're not gonna have enough time. And dash accelerator. That really does look like it should be a foul.
It does, doesn't it?
And you're trying to go for a regular shot?
Because he's out of TP, so he can't use a cross drive.
Cross drive must take an insane amount of TP because he only used it once.
And it went in.
Seriously.
It did, yep.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I really, when that happened, I wasn't expecting it to make it in, and then I was just like, oh! It went over and went in! Interesting.
It's like, okay, I guess we gotta, work with that.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, you know what, Shadow's not doing too hot in this match. I'm gonna take him out, or at least move him to the side, so he can still use his steal Hisatsu.
Yeah, he seems pretty good at stealing, but he can't hold on to the ball, and his shots aren't good enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that they ever get good enough.
If you work on it a bit, it can, but...
Well, yeah, but if you work on any player, they get good enough. And I still don't understand Samioka's static shock abilities here.
Neither do I. Oh,
I
maybe
think he may have had exposure to dangerous chemicals to give him superpowers.
No. Maybe it's actually his socks rubbing together. Like the socks are running together.
That could make sense. Come on, my baby.
That's why he shaves his head bald, so he can rub up against his head.
Yeah. And he transfers the static shock to a rubber soccer ball.
Well, it might be a leather soccer ball.
Or leather. I don't know. Some type of polymer leather.
Yeah. It probably should be leather coated with something else. Things are getting interesting.
We're winning by...
I did something. Winning by a lot at this point. And
kicks the ball in frustration.
Hey,
he just goes, fuck it! Erg. How much fun it is to lose at football! Oh, that name. We know that school. Nazis!
Yeah, that's what Taikoku is! Nazi football players!
Brainwashing
Football Nazis.
Brainwashing Nazi football players. That's a thing, I guess.
Join us or be gassed.
Oh, that's terrible!
Awful!
And the managers are mostly excited. Managers other than Natsumi are excited.
Well, she doesn't count.
No, she doesn't count. Well, she is a manager now.
Well, I meant as a human being.
Oh. But she's just being tsundere. It's supposed to be appealing to...
Exactly.
Japanese. I don't know.
And now she's gonna learn how to do chores in the club room, which she's not entirely sure about.
Haruna's like, yep, I'm gonna go stalk people or something. That's how things get done in the series, right?
Stalking. Sounds like a plan.
Caller unknown.
A mysterious phone call.
A mysterious phone call. And apparently the caller's name is you. Yeah, we're trying to be quiet because this is vaguely important. I say vaguely because, really, when you think about it, what, like, main plot importance does this ever have?
Some.
Not
Maybe it's more of a subplot.
really. Yeah, it's another one of the infamous subplots we have going. Yeah, we have a plot, and we have subplots.
And now remember to save. The save button is your friend.
Yep, this is what the save screen looks like, by the way, folks. So,
remember to use it.
yep, join us next time where we fight a bunch of jerks.
That aren't Nazis?